As we left Waterton, Canada area, we headed south and drove pretty much the length of Montana. And it was so pretty. Just like you've heard of Montana being, that's what it looked like. The wide open, big sky, the big mountains. Anyway, we were heading down closer toward Yellowstone, and we would stop first in Bozeman and look around, and then we would spend the night in a little town called Livingston, and we had a great steak dinner there. Livingston was a small blend of cowboy town and upscale art and a little bit of everything. When we woke up, we headed south toward Gardner. That's the northern entrance to Yellowstone National Park. Along the way, we passed more beautiful Montana mountains and prairies. And then we finally reached Roosevelt Arch, where Teddy Roosevelt had laid the cornerstone many years ago. Going through the tunnel. Boom. Back to the town of Gardner, into the park. Our first stop in the park was the Mammoth Hot Springs. You could see why it's called that. It's just massive. The hot springs have created this really unique effect as there's a lot of them and they're big and they've just come down the rock and created all these really cool colors and formations and all. It was a neat place to start. This is the Angel Terrace from Mammoth Hot Springs. And just a little ways up the road, we saw our first black bear. Black bear. It wasn't too long before we saw our very first wild bison of the trip. We were going to see many more, but not today. We only saw a few on the day one. Saw lots of beautiful landscapes, rivers. I think what's so cool is that just randomly there's geysers and springs that are just by the rivers or the waterways. It just looks like smoke in the distance there in Yellowstone. It's just all over the park. The bear in the road. Hey, bear. Then, of course, we saw another black bear. This one crossed right in front of the car and along the side of the road, so we followed him a while. It was a bear jam in the road. Our day continued with a visit to more geysers along the way as we were working our way toward the Old Faithful area in the Geyser Basin, and there was just so much to see. That noise you hear, by the way, is not cars, it's from the geyser. Hey, can you feel the heat?
Yeah. Can smell it too.
Next, we went on the Fountain Paint Pot Trail. That was cool. So we saw mud pots, geysers, like fumaroles where like the hot air kind of comes up out of the ground, makes a really loud noise. It was neat. We walked around and saw several different things and took a lot of pictures, of course. We've never been to any place like this. Yellowstone's the only place I know of where it's like you're scared to leave the boardwalk. There was a couple places where the hot water was kind of just running down right alongside the boardwalk. Kind of put our hand over it a little bit to see is it too hot to touch. We tried it out. So much fun. We then hiked up to the Grand Prismatic Spring Overlook, of course, one of the great iconic spots of Yellowstone. It was so pretty. It was really windy that day, so the smoke was blowing it off, but it was really nice to see all the colors that were there. Annabelle got yet another Junior Ranger badge too.
Awesome. Congratulations.
Yeah.
And
Oh, that's a cool one.
looks like you
Oh.
Annabelle got the big yellow bus. But we were in search of the ultimate geyser, Old Faithful.
Oh, wow.
We really wanted to walk the Upper Geyser Basin trail. There's some boardwalks there and some other trails. And we stopped at Daisy Geyser. We heard like from the visitor center it might be going off in the evening. And of course, God being awesome just let us see it go off right in front of us. It was huge. It lasted a couple of minutes. Daisy Geyser. Getting bigger. This ain't no 0.5. This is like full camera. Hard to zoom in. And it's just getting taller. Kind of flooded the whole area. We even got to touch the water when it was coming down. It was so cold, like bitterly cold and rainy. And so putting our hands in the warm water was like put them in a hot tub. It was so nice. Going sideways. Still getting taller. After we started walking away, we heard a wolf howl in the distance, and I'm not gonna lie, it was a little eerie. We saw a total of 5 major geysers actually go off just in our little stroll, and it was well worth being cold and a little rainy.
It's the one Santa said look at the fried chicken. It's cool. It's like I can see all of the colors of the rainbow.
Yeah.
Riverside geyser just by the river. The Grotto Geyser. We just happened upon another one.
Look, it says its initial eruption can reach heights of more than 40 feet, but then generally subsides to about 15 feet.
I think all of us each had our own favorite geyser, but this one was Annabelle's favorite. Just another geyser going off. The next morning we left early for Grand Teton National Park and saw this last waterfall. Our first look at the Teton, still a little covered. My dad always said Jackson Hole was the prettiest place he'd ever been, and he was really well traveled. So we were pretty excited to get here and really see what the fuss was about. And I'm not gonna lie, it didn't disappoint. The Teton mountain range runs about 40 miles in western Wyoming, but the most noticeable is the Grand Teton, which its park gets its name from, which is about 13,700 feet. But I think the prominence of the mountains, really how they just shoot up from the plains, is really what makes them so special. We really wanted to hike and just kind of get out there a little bit, so we hiked from String Lake to Lee Lake. It was a nice, flat, easy hike. We got to see 2 lakes and just some beautiful wildlife. Like we saw a moose out in the distance and some baby ducks in the water and several different things. And I think we could have sat there all day. I think we were really contemplating if we wanted to go any further or just stay there. Found this one particular spot on Lee Lake on the sort of western side there, and it was just beautiful. We sat there a long time.
And there's a moose right across the lake,
okay.
and we can't quite see it.
Got it.
Pop
I thought you were.
Photographing little ducks. Not the worst drive in America.
You can almost see the peak now. Cascade Canyon is another hike.
I'm out here in the middle of it. And then we found sunset at the Moran Overlook there. Oh, wow. Just take a look. We had a second day of bad weather with just like cold rain again. So we went into Jackson, shopped around, saw the Antler Arch, and then took a much needed nap. We were pretty wiped out. It was a great day to rest. By the way, found huckleberry ice cream among many other things like we had in a couple other spots in Montana. Ooh, so good. I think it's my new favorite food. We played some games. We just hung out, wrestled, played stuffed animals, read books. It was a great way to just spend a rainy afternoon. The weather was just perfect. The next day we wandered out really early, around 5 in the morning, to the Mormon area for sunrise. It is every bit as beautiful as you would hope it would be just from seeing the pictures. And we just stood there a long time, met a great couple. that had been there several times, and they still came back to that same spot and loved it so much. We fell in love with it too. When the sun began to hit the barn, it really made all the difference. It just completely lit up the whole field, the barn, the front of the mountains. It was like perfect. It still really amazes me that people just lived there as settlers, and it's kind of like something you would think like a little bit of heaven would be like.
Gonna go look behind the barn. Hey, where'd you go? Oh man. Just a typical drive.
Is that a duck over here? Duck? The water. That's fun.
View from our cabin this morning. Just stunning. Bald eagle flying through.
And that other bird is like attacking him. What the heck?
Shanna and Annabelle really wanted to go horseback riding. In fact, Annabelle had taken lessons before the trip, and we were a little disappointed that we could only do the 1 hour instead of the 2 hour because of the rain the day before, but we still had a great time. We crossed the Snake River a couple of times. The horses were good, a little naughty, trying to eat along the way, but we had a really epic journey through like the complete backcountry. I think all the horseback riding did was just make all of us just want to go back to the Tetons and do it again. We saw a fox again right outside our cabin, maybe the same one we saw the day before. And Annabelle had a really great time chasing him down slowly and kind of following him around.
He kind of smells.
Raise your hand and just make as a junior ranger. I promise to learn about doctors. Great to Awesome job, congratulations.
Yeah. Nice.
Shanna and Annabelle had a little adventure to the Jenny Lake Visitor Center and wandered around Jenny Lake a little bit. This was on our last day again, just perfect weather. And they had a great time just doing the girl thing, saw a little more wildlife, and got to hang out, had some special moments together. And then Mason and I walked on the beach out front of our cabin toward the sunset, and it was also just a really great time, dad and son moment, and saw, of course, the beautiful mountains right outside our cabin. What a blessing to stay in Signal Mountain. Had everything we needed, and it was so beautiful. I woke up looking for the sunrise and found it, and also a guy shadow boxing just randomly on the deck. And then we were going to hit the ground running back toward Yellowstone for one more day. We started in the West Thumb area on the lake, and where these geysers are right by the lake. It's so cool.
Yeah, well, okay. Blue water. In these hot springs, the water absorbs all wavelengths of light except blue, which the pool reflects. At one time, black pool really was black. Lower water temperature allowed the thick mats of dark green and brown thermophiles to grow in the pool, causing it to appear black.
It's still just hard to fathom that the water looked like that. I mean, I know I saw it with my eyes, but it's just hard to imagine that it did.
Carbon dioxide and other gases rising from
Mud coming out of there.
Next, we took the Mud Volcano Trail, which was just a tad steep, but less than a mile. We saw some very strange things. There was also a really strong, like, sulfur smell throughout the entire trail. It was different than the other Geyser Basin areas of Yellowstone. This one sort of splashed up mud, bubbled up different kinds of, like, really hot, steamy mud, nasty looking stuff, honestly. There was one place called the Dragon's Breath that was just particularly foul and almost dark feeling, really loud. It was strange, but kind of cool. Some people liked it, some people didn't. But we got back in Big Sur and wanted to continue our travels. So we were heading north still to the Grand Canyon of the Yellowstone area, where we hadn't been able to see that in the big waterfall yet. We saw some bison along the way, kind of on the river there. Just a beautiful area. I didn't know it was so pretty right there, and you could see mountains, like snow-capped mountains in the distance. It was just really pretty drive up toward the Grand Canyon of the Yellowstone area. We started with Lower Falls and then eventually worked to Artist Point, which is the famous point which actually put Yellowstone on the map, where Thomas Moran, made the painting and all that from that exact location. That was really cool. You could see the upper falls, which are just even more impressive. And then eventually we wanted to go up to the falls and see them from up top. So there's a really cool place you can kind of look out and see the water actually fall off the big cliff. It was impressively powerful. It was intimidating, really, to kind of be that close to such a powerful waterfall. We did one more overlook at Inspiration Point, kind of saw the Grand Canyon part better from up there. And then we checked into the Roosevelt Lodge.
This is so cute.
We've checked in. We have 2 beds here. I'm chilling. And then the kids have a different cabin with 3 beds. Caden didn't make it, obviously, on the trip, so his bed will probably be jumped on. And we have the bathroom. It's a cute cabin. This is what Old Faithful should have been. We had a special dinner planned, a steak dinner. It's a Cowboy Cookout, where we took a ride out into Pleasant Valley, sort of in the middle of Yellowstone emptiness. It was awesome, just out there in the wilderness. We saw some bison and had a couple other surprises on our way, coming up with pronghorn antelope, which was like really big on our list, and we even saw a little baby there. It was awesome.
The male is gonna have a black sideburn or stripe. I feel it tingling through me.
Cowboy coffee. Yeah.
It didn't taste that strong, but like I can feel the caffeine reverberating through my veins.
Our Cowboy coffee host insisted he was not Teddy Roosevelt, but hey, you tell us.
All on the wrist, okay? So, watch my wrist. See how I'm turning it? The most important thing for you is to turn it over when it's on this side of your body. I feel like we're in Yellowstone now.
Oh, she almost caught me. Oh, I've been roped. Oh, look at that. Roping. Middle of Yellowstone Valley, buffalo up there. Pronghorn Hills.
There was just something really special about being out in the Yellowstone wilderness like that with the animals. It felt like you belonged and like you'd been there since the 18th century and Teddy Roosevelt had visited. It was probably our favorite part of the entire Yellowstone experience.
What do we think?
Good and you.
Like kids like check off and turn in for a prize at the end of it. Who do you say hi to? Gold stars. Yeah.
You could tell the guy next to you was still there, that you were in line, and you would go, hey, super loud, the noise would carry, and the guy next to you would respond. So, Truman, he's riding along, calling up to the guy next to him every so often, he gets coming back, and he's like, great, I'm in line, and he keeps on going.
The next morning, we set up bright and early from our lodge to Lamar Valley, and we saw tons of bison. It was really, really pretty that morning, but a long drive, but we knew it was going to be a gorgeous drive from Lamar Valley and then eventually to Beartooth Highway. But it wouldn't have been complete without a bison jam in Yellowstone. So long, Yellowstone and Tetons. We really want to come back. In the next video, we'll see Beartooth Highway.